Welcome back to IGN Live at E3. It's time to take a look at Call of Duty World War II. We're here with Brett and Aaron from Sledgehammer Games. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. I'm Damon, and this is He Who Makes False Promises, Marty Sleva.
A mug will be eaten eventually, I promise.
Okay.
We have plans.
All right, so you guys had your big reveal event in May.
Yes.
And we got a great look at the single player there. What are you guys showing here at E3?
So we're showing one of our campaign levels, the Marinade level, and we're super excited about it. Been working on it for a long time, and glad the world can see it.
Yeah. So what about this campaign has been, different? Developing a campaign that takes place, during World War II, as opposed to one that takes place, far in the future.
Well, we had to do a lot of research. We had to make the game very authentic, as believable and respectful as we possibly could, just trying to take, the players back to some of that nostalgia, but also give them something entirely new. So I think we've done both.
So we're actually looking at multiplayer here.
Yeah.
Taking the setting way back to World War II obviously significantly changes the campaign. How does the new setting change the multiplayer?
So with multiplayer, we really, very excited to go back to World War II, obviously, and go back to the roots, back to boots on the ground.
Yep, there it is.
And, we looked across the board at a whole bunch of things. Some of the key things that we're really excited to talk about is our headquarters mode, which you probably heard about. So this is really bringing a really big social aspect to the game that you've never seen before. So back on Advanced Warfare, one thing that was really important to Sledgehammer Games, in Call of Duty, you're really it's about your gamer tag and a title card, and those things are really important. But we really wanted to bring your character into a 3D space with our virtual lobby on Advanced Warfare. And so with World War II, we really wanted to expand on that and really take that into a whole new level. So in Call of Duty World War II, you're going to be able to see your character in a whole new space. So while you're in between matches and your countdown's going, and you used to be able to jump into the firing range, well, now you can actually turn around from that firing range, walk into a whole new 3D space. It's D-Day +3, and you're going to find all kinds of things that we're really excited for people to explore in the beta coming up.
So it's going to be sort of like non-combat things, like you're safe in this place.
That's right. It'll be like you're not in combat, but it's a very social space. So you're there to kind of interact with your friends, compete, pick up daily challenges.
So you mentioned that this space is D-Day +3. I'm assuming D-Day is going to be featured in the single-player campaign, as it's one of the most iconic moments in World War II across pretty much all media.
We are featuring the landings at Normandy, and it's one of our huge action set pieces, and it sort of kicks off our story in a big way with our, main character seeing combat for the first time on the beach. So it's pretty intense.
How do you, in a moment that's been told so well through so many different forms of media, whether it's games or whether it's something like Saving Private Ryan, how do you do something, new and different? And what is, the development tools you have in 2017? How does that differ from Call of Duty's origins?
We have a lot of new technology, a lot of new mechanics. We're doing a couple of different things, like, there's no health regen. We're doing health packs, which is a big deal. We have squad abilities. So yeah, just trying to bring as many new features into an old familiar setting.
Yeah. So you mentioned no health packs, or health packs, no regen. Does that transfer over into multiplayer as well?
It does not.
Okay, it does not. Okay,
no.
So we're not. So people who've grown to know and love, modern Call of Duty multiplayer, this isn't going to be like a 180.
Right. No, I think we're really, again, bringing it back to something that we think is very familiar, but at the same time, we know there's a lot of new players out there that will experience kind of these very visceral, raw, brutal weapons that were just, there's just so much, we really want you just to feel that mud and that blood and that grit. And we feel like in the past years, with more feature settings, which we're real familiar with Advanced Warfare, that there was just a change there. And so we're really excited to go back to that grit.
The footage that we're watching here, this is all from one map?
Yeah, right now what you're seeing is Ardennes Forest. And so this is one map right here. I think we were switching to Point du Hoc, but I think this is all Ardennes Forest right here.
Like, can you tell us a little bit about Ardennes Forest? Like
Absolutely,
where this is in the
So this is really an important, an awesome, iconic location in World War II. So the Battle of the Bulge, and this is something that in multiplayer that we're really been focusing on, just getting that really fast paced. It's a very kind of this is one of our more standard 3-lane maps. And what you're seeing here is actually some of the divisions that we're also really excited about. So this really changes your second-to-second gameplay with the characters. So you're going to listen to one of our 5 divisions. I think you saw just a little while ago one of the bayonet charges. So that's with the infantry, and the infantry is a special division skill that they have that they can use in the game.
Is this a capture the flag mode we're watching right here?
This is domination.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you introducing new modes, or is this something that, like, people who've grown to love Call of Duty are the modes gonna be familiar to them?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of familiar modes, but also we're really excited today at E3 where we've been showing off the war mode, and that's something that goes way back, something early on that we were doing in game jams at the studio, and we knew early on with World War II that it really allowed itself. It was kind of the perfect marriage of World War II. So let's do these asymmetrical Axis versus Allied narrative objective modes and chain them together. And I think we just knew that wasn't something that we can just take, like in this example, we're looking at domination. Well, that mode wouldn't just kind of fit in that map. We had to make all custom maps for those to really give that asymmetrical feeling that we really want to bring that war to life.
So you mentioned it a little bit earlier at the reveal. One of my big takeaways personally was that you're not playing as a super soldier.
Right.
You're playing as this kid who was just trained to hold a gun a couple weeks ago. That's a big departure from Advanced Warfare, where you were playing as kind of a superhero. So what is that like in terms of single player, and then how does that translate also into multiplayer?
Well, one of our design pillars was you're not a superhero. You're a 19-year-old kid. So, that informed the narrative and informed game mechanics and informed even our big action sequences, making sure you're not winning the war by yourself. So, yeah, it really informed everything. And also, we created some mechanics around that. You have to rely on the guy next to you, on your squad, and making sure they're helping you out, and you're boosting their morale, and they're giving you kind of benefits as you play. So, yeah, it informed everything.
So for people who may not know, this isn't a globe-trotting campaign. You're not going to be like on an Indiana Jones map flying from across the Pacific and everything, right?
No, it's mostly just the European conflict
yeah.
through France and Belgium and Germany.
Was there an impetus for why you guys wanted to tell a sort of a more personal, intimate story?
It was just a matter of focus. We wanted to, you could take so many thousands of stories of the war. We wanted to just, find one we really liked and focus and telling that great story.
Are the multiplayer maps based on locations that you experience in the campaign?
Some of them are.
Yeah, some of them are, but we also then have departed with the trailer. I think we saw a few new maps, but we're still going to save some of those to announce at a later date. But yeah, they're not all the same.
Sure. Absolutely. So since your big reveal in May, what's been the reaction so far from your fans?
Oh, it's been really exciting. Yeah, I mean,
it's been great.
We've been working really hard, so it's just been great to come to the show and actually see people actually playing the game hands-on.
What is that feeling like? I mean, obviously you guys have been working on this for years, like literal years, and not being able to tell anyone about it, and then finally in May, all of a sudden you lift back the curtain, you show it, and then you're here at E3, public, 15,000 people, able to get hands-on. What is that like?
It feels great.
Yeah,
it feels awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty undescribable. I mean, it's hard to explain. I mean, I think it's something that the whole team pours their heart and souls into, all the research, all the dedicated developers that have been focusing on this, and then to be able to come and actually hear people's reactions has been awesome.
Yeah. So how long have you guys worked on Call of Duty?
I've been on it.
Series.
Yeah, since 2009.
Yeah, 8-9 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So you were almost back when we were in World War II, right? Like, I mean, exactly. No. I don't mean actual. I don't mean the world was in World War. That was a terrible thing to say. I meant the series, like World at War.
I was actually curious if you worked on the original Call of Duty 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
You've been working on those.
Yeah. What was your first game?
Modern Warfare 3.
Modern Warfare 3.
And Advanced Warfare.
Very cool.
Yep. Same thing. So we've been
were you guys at
together
Visceral beforehand?
Yeah.
Very cool.
But I have to imagine you played those games.
Absolutely.
And enjoyed them. So
yeah, for sure.
Was it cool? Were you excited to get to take Call of Duty back there?
Super honored. I mean, this is something I think, for me personally, that was something that really got me into Call of Duty was those World War II Call of Duty games and that series. So to be able to come full circle and also hit kind of those spectrums with Advanced Warfare going into the future, and now, to me, it couldn't be better as far as a developer and what we've got to explore in that space.
Yeah, super proud. It's an honor to go back to the roots of Call of Duty. It's an honor to work on a World War II game and to respect that war. And yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, cool. Call of Duty World War II is out November
3rd.
Guys, thank you so much for coming by the show.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. So much more to come here at IGN Live at E3 after this.